Hello, BookTube. I've got a morning mail haul for you. I got up at 4:45 with the dogs, and then read a book, and then wrote a review, and then ate a banana. And by the time I was done with all that, the morning's mail shipment was here. I thought we'd go through it together. And as usual, when I can, I have tried to arrange it so that we end with a box. Because I'm a child and boxes are fun. But first we'll do this one. What is this? Ooh. The Outer Beach by Robert Finch. This is the paper review copy of this, and that's just wonderful. I fully intend to review this. So I have walked on the Outer Beach many times. Maybe even with a couple of you. I don't know who's watching and who's not. But okay, next we have a very pretty historical novel, TheScribe of Sienna by Melody Winnower. In this transporting love story and gripping historical conspiracy, slow down there, Seymour. I'll quite literally be the judge of that. Think The Girl with the Pearl Earring meets Outlander. Or you could write your own book. Accomplished neurosurgeon Beatrice Trovato knows that her deep empathy for her patients is beginning to hinder her work. When her beloved brother, a historian, passes away suddenly, she travels to the Tuscan city of Siena to settle his estate. Overworked and in need of a respite, she welcomes the unexpected trip as she wrestles with her grief. As she delves into her brother's affairs and his unfinished research, she discovers evidence of a 650-year-old conspiracy to destroy Siena. Heavens. All right, well, let's move on here. Okay, The Cave Dwellers by Richard Grant. That's what the cover looks like. This is due in April and is another historical novel set in 1937. Young Lieutenant Oscar Langweil is recruited to his cause while attending a party at a lavish home of a baroness. A high-ranking officer in Germany's counterintelligence agency brings Oscar into the fold because of their mutual involvement in a patriotic youth league, and soon dispatches him to Washington. Okay. All right. What's next here? Another historical novel. This is The Death of Kings by Rennie Arth. Some of you will know this author for World War I murder mysteries that were very good. Let's see here. This is the fifth in the John Madden series. He's called upon to assist Scotland Yard in a notorious decades-old murder case. So this is set in 1938, 1 year after the last book. Beautiful actress is murdered on a grand estate in Kent. The estate belongs to a close friend of the Prince of Wales. An instant headline in the papers, the confession of an ex-convict swiftly brings the case to a close. But in 1949, the reappearance of a jade necklace raises questions about the murder. Oh, okay, I'm on board. And this thing here, what is this? It's another novel. Good Lord. This is Chemistry by Wakey Wang. You see that right in the morning light? This comes out in May. 3 years into her graduate studies at a demanding Boston university, the unnamed narrator of this wry novel finds her one-time love for chemistry is more hypothesis than reality. She's tormented by her failed research and reminded of her delays by her peers, her advisor, and most of all her Chinese parents, who have always expected nothing short of excellence from her throughout her life. But there's another non-scientific question looming, the marriage proposal of her devoted boyfriend, a fellow scientist whose path through academia has been relatively free of obstacles and with whom she can't make a life before finding success on her own. Eventually, the pressure mounts so high that she must leave everything she thought she knew about her future and herself behind. Okay. interesting. And we've got this thing. It's a big fat biography of Martin Luther. Okay, this comes out in March, and it is Martin Luther, Renegade and Prophet by Lyndall Porter, or Roper. So this is just a big biography of Luther to mark the 500th anniversary of the nailing of the theses. That, like the Outer Beach, is something I very much want to review for somebody. So if any of you editors out there are watching, be prepared for a pitch letter. Then the last thing is the box. What have we here? Oh, my. You know, as usual, the thing I like the most is the thing I didn't ask for. This is The Lost Journalism of Ring Lardner. Look at that. This is from the University of Nebraska Press. Good for them. Ring Lardner's influence on American letters is arguably greater than that of any other American writer in the early part of the 20th century. Well, okay. I don't like H.L. Mencken, but let's not leave him out of the equation, shall we? Lauded by critics and the public for his groundbreaking short stories, Lardner was also the country's best-known journalist in the 1920s and early 30s. Again, you might want to amend that to best-known male journalist. When his voice was all but inescapable in American newspapers and magazines, Lardner's trenchant, observant, sly, and cynical writing style, along with a deep understanding of human foibles, made his articles wonderfully readable, and his words resonate to this day. Well, okay. Very nice. All right, this comes out in January. And it is the journalism of Ring Lardner. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay. All right. So got a bunch of novels: Cape Cod, Martin Luther, and the journalism of Ring Lardner, and that's to start our day. So we'll see what the rest of the day brings. Until then, thank you, BookTube.